Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my fourth video. I've published two, I'm editing the third, and I have really enjoyed the process so far. And at the beginning I said, if I like it, I'm going to commit myself to filming 100 videos over the next couple of years and really committing to this process of being a YouTuber. Lots of videos nowadays are talking about how content creators are the future, and they've probably been the future for many, many years. And there's a saying that I've heard many a time: when was the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago. When's the next best time to plant a tree? That will be today. And this is why I'm exploring my creativity, and I've really enjoyed it. I've liked going to bed thinking about, oh, what can I talk about on my YouTube channel? Oh, what can I talk about in a LinkedIn post? And really putting myself in positions to allow my creative juices flow. So today, in this video, I thought I would talk about the whole process of trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to start a business. When I'd initially started this self-development journey and reading the books and listening to the podcasts, my whole mentality was, oh, I don't really like what it is I'm doing now. What can I do differently? And I thought I would learn tips and tricks about things that I can do within my life outside of work. And I've never really thought about changing the idea of working, because like I said before, started a business before, was absolutely traumatized and had vowed to myself that was something I would never do again. But as I've been going through this journey and I've been listening to the books and listening to just really purposeful educational content, and it really has teased my creative juices. It really has told me to put myself in my discomfort zone. Hi YouTube, and to just really go for it. So I am in the process, I don't know why I'm laughing, but I am in the process of kickstarting a women's health education business as my sort of first foray into the business world in this current season, and seeing what comes from it, and just really challenging myself to do different things again and again and again. So one of the things I've really struggled with, one of the things I've really had a problem with, is that everyone who talks about the joys of being an entrepreneur, the struggles of it, how to be an entrepreneur, how to start a business, they very, very rarely focus on the actual how. So I've listened to Daniel Priestley, and he's probably one of the better speakers I've listened to, and he's got a few books that I've read, and it really does break it down. But even then, it's still not broken down enough for my brain to comprehend. I went to medical school, and in medical school they're notorious for teaching you nothing but human biology and everything aligned to medicine. When it comes to finances, when it comes to business management, sometimes even when it comes to leadership, there's often a lack, and that's just something I've not managed to come across in my life, how to run a business. And obviously the only way to really learn how to do something is to do it. But sometimes the lingo, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head, but I do find that the lingo is too much. And I definitely am a fan of acronyms, but I know 3-letter word acronyms for medical conditions and not for the business world. So Q1, that's something I only really understood recently to be Q1, because no one talks about that in hospital. So I found that the whole process of trying to be educated or gain education for myself has been interesting, but sometimes has felt a little bit like it's above my head. I often find that I'm going to my sisters who do work quite corporate jobs to get them to explain stuff. I remember I had to take one of my sisters on a coffee date. She'd just gotten a new dog at the time. And I was like, okay, please break down to me what consulting is. Because I thought, oh, Remy, you could go into healthcare consulting, or you could go into healthcare tech, or this and that and that. And that was really where my mind was at. How can I think about alternative careers to change my life without really starting a business? So starting a business process was not, again, something that I was fully committed to doing. So to give you the backstory, back in 2017, myself with my sisters and my husband, we co-founded a yoga studio and a wellness space. And it was definitely outside my comfort zone. It was a physical business. It meant that you need to understand the red tape, the licensing, the employees, the accounting, and I definitely took on more of an operational role. Amongst the co-founders, we had people running inventory, the renovation, the yoga teachers, managing the staff. It was endless, the marketing, and it was actually a lot, and it was a lot for one person to do, and it was a lot for 4 people to do alongside their day-to-day jobs, and we had to rely on the manager. And that business was great because, again, it gave me insight into what it was like to run a business, but it freaked me the hell out. I was like, no, not doing that again. No. I had sleepless nights. I'd go to bed worrying about the business. I'd go to bed worrying about people getting their invoices paid. And it was just too much. And it was probably what Daniel Preeti says, a J-type business, where you had to put investment in and you really had to have reserves to keep going for the business to then take off. And again, we all had day jobs. I just had a baby, and it wasn't really something that we could commit to like that. And so I came across, post that business, I came across a certain accelerator for doctors or for clinical staff. And I was like, as good as this looks, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I really don't want to be a business owner again. I'd much rather stick to my day job and get my salary every single month. Now, fast forward to 2020, myself and my partner now, we started sort of a women's health initiative. Again, business was the furthest thing from my mind. It was more from a place of, how can I give back? How can I serve the community? I know that the statistics for Black women aren't great and when it comes to obstetrics and gynecology, so how can I do something about it? And I thought, all I could do, or I felt I could do, was share my knowledge. And we did that online for a while. And then she probably has more of a business hat on. And she said, look, Remy, we need to charge for this, charge for that. We got contacted by brand sponsors. And it then felt too much like a business again. And then I started getting anxious. I was like, I can't send this email. I don't want to attend this meeting. And these feelings of anxiety and overwhelm were coming up for me again. And so I had exams. I had a very good excuse to leave it, to park it, and to move away from it. Now, fast forward to current day, I'm now trying to go all in on this business idea. Is there any way that serving women through education can translate into business? Not necessarily for profit, because that's not really what we're here for, but just to provide meaningful impact and give me something to feel like my creative juices are flowing, and I'm in control of my destiny, so to speak. After the first few meetings, we said, okay, we've got a new name, we've got a rebrand, we've got this and that, and I would time block. I would time block bits in my day to be like, yes, Remy, you're going to focus on the company. And I'd be twiddling my thumbs, what does focus on the company mean? What does it even look like? What am I supposed to do? Okay, I could draft an email, but where does that go? What are the actual steps that I need to take to get from nothing to an actual business? And the reason why I'm saying this is because obviously we had done the initiative before. We had the Instagram page, we have 3,000 followers. And at the time we were posting educational content. And I was like, well, okay, that's just not, in my head, that's not business structure. What is the structure? What will be my 1-minute pitch? I'll write a business plan. And so I spent a while writing a business plan, and I was like, but I don't even really know what to include in it. I don't really understand the financials, and where do I get all this information? I can listen to business podcasts and business podcasts after business podcasts, and I'd still sit there and say, but what am I supposed to do? And I've come to tell you, I still don't know, but I'm figuring it out. And I think I had to just really, in my mind, say, this is what went wrong the first time. This is what I couldn't cope with the first time. And this is what I want to do differently. So I thought, okay, I'm going to stay within my area of comfort. So a book by Daniel Priestley, Key Person of Influence, I'll put that down below. He talks about how you can become a key person of influence in your industry. So I thought, actually, that's true. I've spent 7 years in med school. I've now spent 9, 10 years practicing clinically. How do I stay within my sphere and my specialty, but still influence and impact change? I know I have a passion for women's health. I know I have a passion for women's health education. So how do I stay within that narrative? I had to do some research while I was writing the business plan. Are there people that are offering the same or similar service? Are we speaking to the same target audience? Is there a way for me to reach the target audience? And then I had to then think about networking. Okay, Remy, you need courage, you need resilience to start a business. You need to go out there and go for networking events. You need to go and meet people. You need to speak to people and tell them what you're doing. And then I thought, okay, could I get some formal education on how to run a business? And I thought about it. I thought about a master's. I thought about an MBA. I thought about a public health master's. And then I had to decide that in my current commitments, I don't want to leave clinical training to do a degree. I don't really want to spend any extra money in learning how to run a business. Could I do an accelerator? And a lot of the accelerators require you to have a chunk of block of time off of work. And I came across one that was specific to clinical staff, was free. It meant I could do it alongside work. And I was like, okay, I'm going to apply for this. I attended the prep sessions, I did the necessary research that was needed, and I put in the application, and I'm on an accelerator. And that will start this month, and I will look forward to learning more hands-on skills, and again, how to pitch, how to do sales, how to put myself out there. And then I was like, okay, fine, I've done all those things. What am I doing? What can I do on a day? So if I've got a morning off, or I've got some time off, what can I actually do that's tangible within that time? I could do all the business admin, like open an account, register it, get all those things done. But actually, how am I going to move the business forward? So I started speaking to people. I was like, oh, do you know anyone that works within a company in HR that has a women's network? And then I started putting ourselves out there. Because again, all this time I was refusing to post because I felt, oh, if I post, it comes with pressure. I don't want pressure. I don't want pressure. I sucked it up and I posted. And we got a couple of emails of interest, which has been really good. And so I'm like, okay, if I get an interest and there's a proof of concept, then maybe I start sending out emails. Maybe I start reaching out to people on their Instagram DMs. And I'm happy that I've done that, because it means that I've got some meetings lined up. It means that we did our first event not too long ago. It means we got our first paycheck. I'm just asking myself every day, what more can I do to push myself forward? And I'm just trying to stay in build mode. I'm trying to use my evenings. I'm trying to use my weekends. I'm trying to do everything I can to push this idea and to push this concept forward, and just to challenge myself. And in this challenge, I just feel revitalized. I feel awake again. I feel like there is more to come, and I'm absolutely loving it. As is my tradition, I have an epilogue for today. Like I said, I've been in this mode for a while. I'm trying to figure out what's next, and I'm talking to my husband. I'm having conversations with my daughters, and one of them doesn't really like it when I have to go to work at night. And one time she said, oh, Mummy, why do you have to go to work? And I was like, well, we need money. Can you think of another way for me to make money that doesn't require me leaving the house? And because we'd been watching a few YouTube families, like family type shows, she said, oh, can't we invite the cameras into our house? I was like, which cameras? I was like, you mean YouTube? And she said, yeah. And I was like, oh. And honestly, regretfully, the first thought that I had was, oh, no, we can't do that because people are going to criticize us. And she was like, why? Why would they? And she's right. Why would they? And even if they do, why do I care? So unfortunately, last night she was a little bit unwell, so she's at home with me today, and she's off school, and she's currently sat there, and she's the reason I'm doing this video today. She said, oh, Mummy, what were you going to do today? I said, oh, I was going to film a video, but you're here, so I don't really want to. And she said, no, Mummy, you have to film the video. You have to film the video. Can we do it this morning? I was like, oh, no, I've got work to do. And she's been on my case all day to film the video. And for me, it's just heartwarming, because our kids see us when you're doubtful, when you're not taking chances, when you're not being confident. Your kids see, and you want to model the best attitude and behavior for them. And I'm just really proud of her. I'm proud of myself that I'm doing something that she can look up to, and hopefully, if all this creator economy exists when she's older, she will not even bat an eyelid and she'll do it, like just because she saw Mummy do it, and so that makes me really, really proud. So anyway, thank you for watching my video today. I have really enjoyed it so far. If you are interested, please subscribe. If you like the video, please like it. If you would like to see some of my other videos, please see them. If you have any comments about how to edit, how to film properly, how to script better, how to look better on camera, I am open to constructive feedback. Thank you. Peace.